Hello. Today we are keeping up with our Versatile Veggies cooking show, and the vegetable of the week is mushrooms. So I am going to cook garlic mushroom quinoa. There's only a few ingredients in this one. It's a pretty simple dish. It's not even very long. Shouldn't take too long to cook. And this is going to be our mushroom recipe. I will go over the health benefits and the cooking options in just a little bit, but we're going to start by cooking the quinoa. So quinoa is a grain. It's kind of like a healthy rice. It's really good for you though. So I already have the water boiling. Move the camera over here. So this pot, I'm going to not do that because of the video, but this pot is boiling. And so I'm going to add in a cup of quinoa and some olive oil. So there's a cup. We're going to add in some olive oil. And we're going to stir this. And so the way quinoa cooks, it depends on the package. My package says to let it come to a boil, which it's boiling again. And then I'm going to cover it and I'm going to cook it on medium heat. I'm covering it. I'm turning it down to medium heat. And I'm going to let it cook for another 10 or 12 minutes. So we're going to come over back here. Actually, we're going to come over here, excuse me, to cook up the mushrooms. So I'm going to grab a saucepan. This is probably too small. Here we have a saucepan. And these mushrooms, so mushrooms at the store, you can either buy sliced or regular. I bought sliced and then I ended up actually slicing them again to get them a little thinner. Some of them are big and some of them are little. And what we're going to do is we're going to toss some olive oil in the pan. And we're going to put it on medium heat. And then we're going to add the mushrooms. And then once the mushrooms are in there, get this to stir, but we're also going to add the garlic. So you can chop 5 cloves of garlic. I am just using the minced garlic, so I'm just going to put 2 spoons of garlic in there. And then we're also going to add thyme. So my family gets thyme. You can see what it says thyme. We get thyme from Buckland. It's the farm. It's off 29, and we just get seasonings like this. And we'll use all the seasoning and then we'll go back and they'll refill it for us. So we like to use that for our seasonings. And then we're going to add some salt. And then going to add some pepper. And I forgot to put a timer on the quinoa. So I'm going to say it's been like 2 or 3 minutes. So I'm going to stir all this up so we can make sure that the garlic is incorporated everywhere. And this is just going to cook until the mushrooms get a little tender. Also, if you hear noises upstairs, we got a new mattress today, so my parents are doing that. Apologize in advance. I'm going to go ahead and stir this again. Alrighty. So we're gonna keep cooking the mushrooms. And once the mushrooms are cooked down a little bit, then we're gonna just fold the quinoa into the saucepan with the mushrooms and stir it all together. And that is going to be this dish. So like I said, it's a really simple dish. And I'm really excited. I think it'll be really good. I like quinoa. So while this is cooking, turn the camera towards me, and I'm just gonna go through some of the health benefits. So again, you're gonna get this PDF just like normal. Tomorrow morning we'll send it out. And this side has the recipe on it, so all the ingredients and all the directions. And then the other side has the health benefits. So mushrooms are really good for you, just like any vegetable. They're high in antioxidants, which is awesome for you. And mushrooms are also high in vitamin B, so that's awesome. And then they're high in copper, and copper helps produce red blood cells. And if you want to have a quick little anatomy lesson from someone who's taken many anatomy classes, red blood cells is what supplies oxygen to all of your organs in your whole body. So white blood cells fight disease and infection, and red blood cells deliver oxygen. So if you've ever had that little pointer thing you put on your finger, what it's measuring is the oxygen in your blood system that's carried by your red blood cells. So that's a little fun fact for you. And copper, what's in mushrooms, helps produce the red blood cells. So that's really awesome, which is really good because oxygen throughout your whole body is a good thing. You want to make sure that you have enough oxygen. All right, I'm just going to stir these real quick. I'll stir my quinoa too. Alrighty, so some ways to cook mushrooms outside of the way we're cooking them now is you can just look up mushroom dishes, and this is the mushroom dish that I chose to make. Another thing that you can do is you can just saute mushrooms in like butter and some salt and pepper. A healthier option would be olive oil. But just sauteing them is really, really good. They have great flavor. You can put them on top of meat dishes like beef stroganoff. If you have ever had that, that has a lot of mushrooms in the sauce. Mushrooms are great to throw into any sauce. They add a lot of flavor and they're really good nutrients. Stirring these up again. Alrighty, so you can add them, you can saute them and add them to the side, or you could throw them in sauces. Another thing that you can do is it's called baked mushrooms. So the portobello mushrooms that are really, really big and have the really large head, you can flip them upside down and cut the stem off, and you have a little bowl. And inside the bowl, you can put some olive oil, some salt, pepper, and some like cheese, even some cream inside that. And you just throw it in the oven and bake it. And similar to the stuffed zucchini boats we made, you have a stuffed mushroom, and it's called baked mushrooms. And those are also really good, especially if you put lots of cheese in it. Who's not a fan of cheese, right? So another way, so my sister's a vegetarian, and we did this to make sure that she could still like have burgers and stuff with us. So another way to cook mushrooms is what we like to call portobello burgers or mushroom burgers. And just like I was talking about earlier, you take the mushroom head of the portobello and you cut the stem off, just like you were doing on the baked mushrooms. And you just grill the head of the portobello mushroom on the grill, just like you would grill a burger. And you can season it just like you would season a burger. And you put it on your bun, and you can add ketchup and mustard and whatever else you put on your burger, some lettuce or tomato. And that is your burger. And it's a vegetarian option. It's a meatless option. And it's really, really good too. And you can still get some great flavor with the mushroom. And the texture isn't bad either. So that's another way you can cook mushrooms. We like to do that in the summertime a lot. Alrighty, so I think that's it for the PDFs that you'll get. And of course, if you are following along with our veggie log, and you are updating it per week as you try the vegetables, you can definitely keep updating your veggie log. You can send us a picture via email, or if you have social media, you can share it there too. Either way is perfect. We would love to see how your veggie log is doing. Alrighty, so I'm gonna show you guys what the mushrooms look like right now. I'm not sure if you can see it. They're a little bit cooked down. There's some juice starting to acquire at the bottom of the skillet. And that's just from the garlic and the mushrooms. You can see they're a little softer and they're kind of shrinking a little bit. They're getting a little tender. So these mushrooms are looking really, really good. I'm going to take the heat off and just let them continue cooking down just a little bit, but not as high heat. And then I'm going to go ahead and stir my quinoa. And I'm going to take a little bit out and try it. Make sure it's not too crunchy. Ooh, it's hot. So if I hold this up to the camera, I'm not sure if it'll focus or not, but you can see that quinoa has like a grain. So you can see there's like a little seed inside of it. And that's the grain part of the quinoa. Ooh, this is good. Yep. Alrighty. So we're going to dump the quinoa in here. So as you can see, there's a little bit of juice and you have all the mushrooms in here. And I'm going to take the lid off my quinoa and pour it in here. Alrighty. We're going to stir this all together and make sure that garlic is all incorporated really nicely and all the flavors from the mushroom is well incorporated. We're going to let this sit for a little bit. I'm going to add some salt and pepper. While this is sitting, Brooke, what are some of your favorite recipes or meals that have mushrooms in them?
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti. You put mushrooms in your spaghetti sauce?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what I was talking about earlier. You can add mushrooms to a lot of sauces. I really like beef stroganoff, which has mushrooms in the sauce as well. That's one of my favorite meals. So I'm going to add some more salt, some more thyme. Sounds like I'm saying like the clock time, right? But it's actually thyme, like the seasoning thyme. Sprinkle some of that on here. Feel like a chef when I sprinkle seasoning on my food. Now I'm gonna add some salt and pepper. Yummy. Alrighty, can you see the final result? Doesn't that look yummy? So like I said, this is a really easy, quick meal. We just had to cook the quinoa and saute the mushrooms for a little bit, and then it all incorporated together really, really nicely. So some veggie meals are perfect for just quick toss-ups. I think this is going to be good because the mushrooms got really nice and like soft and flavorful as they were cooking in the garlic and thyme. And then the quinoa got all of the extra flavorful juice on top of that. So I think this is going to be really good. So we will send this to you guys tomorrow, along with the vegetable cooking sheet. So you can follow along with this week and let us know which dish you tried with mushrooms and what it rated at.